performance. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to just go through some cues for how to correctly perform the kettlebell swing. Okay, so some of the important things that you want to remember with the kettlebell swing is that the majority of the energy or the force should be coming from your hips. So if we look at it from the side, we're looking at a hinging motion from your hips as you do the swing itself. Okay, we want to make sure that your heels stay planted on the floor, all right, and that you stay with a nice tight core as you go through the motion. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and grab the kettlebell, and we're going to go ahead and do about 5 or 6 reps here to give you an example of how to correctly do the exercise. So when you grab the kettlebell, you want it between your legs, and make sure that you're not trying to flex too much with your back. You want to keep a fairly neutral back position. You're going to go ahead and bend, grab the kettlebell, stand, push the kettlebell back between your legs when you start. So we're going to push back. Good powerful burst coming up. Good. Now let's grab 2 more from the front. And notice the kettlebell, when you're done, up on top, the kettlebell is parallel with your arm. So those are some important cues for the kettlebell swing. So our second exercise in this series is going to be the kettlebell clean. And it's patterned somewhat after the power clean that some of you have probably already done in your strength and conditioning program already. Now the difference is going to be we're going to do this initially at least with one arm, and it's going to be a little more non-linear. So the typical power clean that you're going to do is going to be a little more linear this way, whereas this is going to be coming in rotation across your body. Okay, so a couple of pointers to remember. Again, we want to generate power from your hips. So if we think back to the swing, we want to incorporate some of that motion through your hips as well. But as we do the clean, what we want to do is we're going to be reaching down to grab your kettlebell on the floor between your feet. Okay, and as I pull up, I'm going to imagine like I'm zipping my jacket up right here. I'm going to pull the kettlebell up and into a catch position right here. Real important to keep your wrist neutral and to keep your elbow tucked in tight in the catch position up on top, right here over the top of your hip. Okay, so from the side, it's going to look a little bit like this. Now we're going to go ahead and do a couple of reps. So again, we're going to reach over the top and grab the kettlebell so my thumb is pointing back. I'm going to pull and catch right here. Great, that's the kettlebell clean. Exercise number 3 is going to be a front squat, and you've done front squats with dumbbells before. One of the key differences here is just going to be when you start, you're going to grab the kettlebell from the floor between your feet in the start position. Once you catch at your shoulder, then you're going to go ahead and do your repetitions for your squat at that time. So we'll hold your kettlebell in one hand, do your 5 to 12 reps, whatever it's going to be, and then set back to the floor, re-clean with the other side back to the other shoulder, and do your second set on the other side. So to just give a quick example in here, again, we reach down, thumb is pointing back, grab between your feet, okay, we pull, catch right here, drop into your front squat, and release back to the floor. And that's it. Okay, so our final exercise is going to be a front squat to press. And so we're basically going to put everything together that we've learned so far. We're going to start with the kettlebell between your feet, just like so. And then what's going to happen is I'm going to come down, I'm going to clean the kettlebell to my catch position right here. I'm going to drop into a front squat and press up in one motion. Okay, so let's go ahead and get a few examples of this on the reel here next. So I'm going to go ahead and squat. Grab the kettlebell, okay, clean to catch, front squat, to press. Notice I've got a little lateral trunk flexion in there as I press up on top, okay. If I'm going to do repeats, I could come down all the way to the floor, catch, squat, press, Or we could repeat out of the front squat position. And that is the kettlebell front squat to press.